Sorry, Mac. Well, we're allowed to keep talking. It doesn't matter whether we're live or not because we're still waiting for Twitch.
I think
Twitch is too slow.
I think I'm getting the impression that we are actually going out onto the interwebs.
Onto the interwebs?
Yes.
Hello, boys and girls.
Yes.
We're waiting for the Twitch. Coraline, give us an actual signal. It's okay. It's not.
I think she did.
She's
Yeah.
Are we live on Twitch, Coraline? Sweet.
Next time, go
the
like
trifecta.
this.
We have the Devil's Triangle. We have Twitch. We have the YouTubes.
Right.
And we have the Facebooks.
Yep. So the Facebook, go like this, and for YouTube, go like this, and for Twitch, go like that.
Yes, it's like the YMCA, but very, very different.
But very, very different.
Yes.
So, hi everybody.
Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to Kilts and Culture.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Rocky. This is Eric.
Yo.
Today, special treat in honor of Irish Coffee Day. Is it? What's
I think it was Coffee Day.
Coffee Day.
Irish Coffee Day specifically.
Irish Coffee Day specifically. When is it? What's
January
the actual day?
25th.
January 25th.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also Robert Burns' birthday.
Burns night. So I don't know. It sounds like somebody was trying to hop on the bandwagon.
Shouldn't it be like Hot Toddy Day then as well? Oh.
I could see Irish coffee being very useful after a full Burns supper because that's a very filling meal.
It's very true.
So having a bit of a pick-me-up afterwards would be not a bad thing.
Very good. That being said, coffee. So we have homemade Irish coffee.
That's right.
Eric's grandpa's recipe, or one he found online. Grandpa's
You want
recipe.
to know where my recipe came from?
Sure.
Actually, I researched the recipe from two different places, but the main source for me, I don't know if you can see this, but this is a Bible of mine. This is Trader Vic's Bartender's Guide, circa 1947. Revised in 1974 to get all those newfangled recipes in there. But Irish coffee is one of the recipes in here.
Nice.
And I did a slight variation on it, which I can discuss as we're drinking.
Very good.
But and Mac did a little homework on it too, I think. But
well
this is
researched.
Actually, some people think that Irish coffee is an American drink. It actually is Irish. It actually is an Irish invention.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Yep.
The one thing that we talked about earlier that I didn't know either was Irish coffee, traditional Irish coffee, using my finger quotations there, doesn't have Baileys.
Nope.
When Eric brought in the ingredients, he's loading them up, and I'm like, "Where's your Baileys?" And he was like, "Oh, it doesn't have Baileys." And what?
Yeah.
What do you mean it doesn't have Baileys?
Baileys is delicious, but it was originally kind of made up as a shortcut for doing this kind of drink fast because you don't really need it. You don't really need to measure out all the individual things. There's basically, I might as well run down the ingredients now. Basically, you obviously got the whipped cream on here, which is a not highly peaked whipped cream. It's a little soft, so it melts into the coffee faster. Then you have the coffee, which is usually Cafe Americano or something else. That's a nice strong coffee. And then you have brown sugar, and you have anywhere between 1 ounce to 2 ounces of whiskey of your choice.
Jameson is a traditional bar whiskey for making Irish coffee, so we went with the bog standard Jameson's.
Yeah, we went with, and this is the Cask Mates, which we just happen to like. We tried it once as a try on the show a few months ago and decided we liked it. But
yeah,
then
very good.
There's lots of Irish whiskeys out there, and you get what you pay for to some extent. I'd say this is kind of middle of the road.
Yeah. Now this is going to be an interesting one for me. I am generally not a fan of hot alcohol, so like hot alcohol drinks. So I'm curious. It looks delicious, so I really am curious how this is going to go.
Well, we'll find out.
Bottoms up.
Hopefully, it won't make you sick. Mac, you want to come and get yours in
Mr. Mac?
This will not be piping hot because I did have to make them a bit before the show
5
started.
minutes ago. Yeah.
In fact, if you're really serious, you actually preheat. Here you go. You actually preheat the mugs with hot water.
Why, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Grab yours.
Yep.
New tartan keeps flipping over. Okay. It's interesting. In 5 minutes. Oh, I guess that's the brown sugar on the bottom.
Yeah, there's a bit of separation.
Okay.
Yeah, and there was some of the sugar did not dissolve.
Should we swirl it or something?
If I had a swizzle, I might swizzle it.
Swizzle
But
dizzle.
this again comes from making it quickly before a show. But
And how does one drink?
you're
there
supposed
any
to sip
tricks?
it. You're supposed to sip it through the cream.
It is,
So,
yes.
Yeah.
It's drunk through the cream. So let
Indeed.
the cream be the filter.
Let the cream get you
Okay.
creamed or drunk.
Smelling it.
Drunk through your cream.
I smell.
Probably just gonna smell like cream.
No, I smell Jameson's.
You can smell the Jameson. Yep.
Yeah, it smells like sweet in Jameson's.
Yeah. There's like a teaspoon of brown sugar in here, so it's gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's not like an over. There's not a ton of odor to it. It's like not a strong scent. Okay. It doesn't smell like coffee. Like I love coffee, but it doesn't smell strong like coffee. Probably it's all hidden under the cream.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So
Sláinte.
Sláinte ma. Taste the Jamesons.
I'm happy.
I wasn't expecting the cream to be so thick, so when I sucked it in, kind of like shot into my back of my throat.
Yeah, watch that.
Yeah.
That organic whipped cream will get you every time.
We're gonna have like mustaches throughout the show now.
I was wondering about that, actually.
Yeah,
I was wondering if I
yeah.
let myself have a cream mustache.
I've got another filter.
You built-in stirrer, Mac. Just
I'm not, to be honest, I don't think I've ever made Irish coffee at home like this. So I've made other coffee drinks. Like I've made more tiki cocktail type coffee drinks, but this is actually relatively simple compared to some of the coffee cocktails I've made. But I like it. I'm happy. I'm very happy. Do we do the ratings for this like we do for regular drinks?
sure.
Okay.
He's still confused by it.
I think he is.
I'm trying to. If I'm honest, I'm trying to find something I like about it. It's one of those things where I like all of the elements on their own, but when you mix it all together, it makes an unholy terror in my mouth.
Wow. Well,
Was that too harsh?
Yeah, it was a little harsh, dude.
It's like the cream. Like the cream looks delicious. Brown sugar, I love. Like if I just like tasted the cream, I was like, okay. Then the hot alcohol just gets to me. I don't know.
Some people do have a reaction to warm alcohol. It's true.
Now, Kirk
Really?
is asking if you did make the whipped cream.
Yeah. This is organic whipping cream I get from a local store, and it's flavored with a dash of maple syrup and a dash of vanilla. But I have a kitchen-made mixer, so making whipped cream is actually no big deal.
Hold on. Just the cream. See, the cream itself is good. And I like the brown sugar in it. And I love coffee.
I think I needed to make it hotter so that my sugar was sure to dissolve. I will say that was probably a tactical error on my part. And if I pre-warmed the mugs and done that, I think the coffee would be sweeter, the beverage overall would be sweeter. You're going to get a sugar rush at the very end, basically, if you have the guts to finish it. What do you guys think?
I think when you drink it actually through the cream, you get it straight through the cream, it is much better. And I think I'm getting what you're getting, as the glass is getting lower, the fluid is getting lower in there. The cream is just kind of falling to the top. So when I tip the glass now
it always goes towards the back.
The cream is now moving up, and the liquid's coming underneath of it. So now I'm getting that strong shot of the Jameson like you were
Right.
getting. So I think now that it's this way, I'm getting more how you are. But when I first start off, I really liked it.
Cool.
Coraline.
I really liked the cream.
It's worth fair disclosure. Coraline is not a drinker, so she's taking one for the team by drinking anything alcoholic on the show here. But,
We love abusing our staff. It's fun.
yeah, that's why you have a business. That's why you have a start a
Exactly.
company, basically. Yeah. What did you had some notes? I was trying to remember some notes and I couldn't remember all, and you had some notes on it, right, Mac?
Oh, we gotta rate it too, 1 to 10.
Sure.
Sorry, we're getting some stuff in. Let's see. We got one. Said maybe we should have shook it. Should have shook it, and it should be poured on a spoon, and not
You are
glopped
correct.
in.
You're correct. There's a technique where you pour it on a spoon or pour it over a spoon to do that, and I also didn't do that. I have horrible luck every time I've ever tried to do that.
You, sir.
Yeah. Like trying to do layers in a cocktail, like
Yeah.
drizzling something over a spoon. Oh my god. I
Well,
hate
Guinness
that.
you're supposed to pour over a spoon too. So.
True. So, hey guys, this is my first attempt. Cut me some slack.
I think it's a gallant attempt. Mac, we didn't go over scores.
Oh,
1 to
scores?
10.
Going through the cream, definitely I will give that an 8.5. If when the cream's not there, then I'll lower that to more of like a 5.3.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. All about
Coraline?
all about the dairy products.
This is to say nothing of Eric's ability as a bartender. Like a 1. But the cream, like a 9. Great.
I
There's
have
sweet
lots of
thick.
leftover whipped cream. You can
Yeah,
take some home.
I'll have that.
Back here with a spoon, just eating it.
Oh yeah, we do at home. Yeah, it's like a little pie and a lot of whipped cream. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 because I know I can do better.
Okay.
I'm very happy with it, but I know I can mix this a little bit better with a little practice. So I do think a lot of the recipes just call for straight sugar, and this recipe called for brown sugar, and I think that does make a difference. Just if you're gonna try at home, I do recommend using the brown sugar.
Okay, I'll do it this way. The cream itself, say about an 8. The brown sugar, like brown sugar, especially with the cream, 8.5. Jameson's, 6.5.
I'll relieve you of this then.
Coffee, Americano, or regular, like the coffee itself, because I smelled it when you were actually making it. I didn't taste it, but I'm gonna approximate.
Good coffee.
I would say 8.5, 9, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Everything together, 1.8. Like
Wow.
I wouldn't. It's not my bag. I wouldn't.
That's cool. That's cool. You're
I
honest.
wouldn't do it. And again, I'm saying it doesn't matter whether it's yours or it's anyone else's. I'd probably
understand.
give it about the same.
I understand. It's just like it's not your kind of food. So yeah. Okay.
Indeed.
Okay.
Very good.
So at least I got points for using good ingredients, guys.
Indeed. Yes.
Yep.
Cool.
Happy Irish Coffee Day in advance. And I also highly recommend making some of this up for St. Patrick's Day. It is both an old world and a new world tradition.
It'll
Like
keep you warm and keep you warm.
Yeah, exactly. So you had some notes on the origin?
Yeah, so we're getting a few different things here. I was actually just kind of looking up more on Bailey's as far as when that kind of became more of a prevalent thing, or more as what people know today as. And I'm not really finding an exact date when that kind of kicked in, but it looks like there's several different variations that can be used. There's also talk about using rum instead of whiskey.
Okay.
More of a Caribbean flair
Vibe.
to it.
That's where you get into the tiki styles, which coffee grog. Yep.
Cool.
But it looks like it's mid 19th century is when it first comes around, and it's you see similar type things, not this exact thing, but similar type things in Germany, Denmark, and so it looks like
France too.
Yeah, France is the next one that just kind of popped up here. But yeah, it looks like it doesn't make reference. The first time it's referenced as Irish is not until World War II.
Yep. The story I had heard was that this barkeep who was working at a bar that was adjoining an airport in County Limerick made it for some passengers and pilots of a flight that had been grounded by weather or delayed by severe weather, and they were miserable and they were cold and tired, and he whipped this up to try and give them a pick-me-up. There's another story I think of some Irish officer making it for his men during the war, but
Yeah, and that was the airport was in County Limerick.
right,
So I guess we can thank County Limerick for this.
There you go.
yeah. Well, I was happy. I enjoyed it. I'm determined we do more Irish tries on the show
No,
going forward.
I'm fine with trying Irish stuff, just not hot liquor.
Well, it's funny you say that. You're thinking about things that you like individually, but mixing them might not be a good idea.
Right.
We didn't know how long this try was going to take. We thought we might want to pad it out with another thing to try.
Okay.
So, let me give you a clue here. Here's Exhibit A.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay. Here we go. Here's Exhibit B.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I like this
You
so
know where we're
far.
going? This should look familiar to you.
Okay, my other
This
coffee
is
mug.
your other coffee mug. And,
Are we making a different version of Irish coffee?
You know what? I'm missing one ingredient. What's the last thing I should put in here, Mac?
Cream.
Sorry, I'm finishing up this one.
Okay. I know. How about some breath mints?
Yes.
We're gonna put your taste buds where your mouth is.
So this is the breath mint challenge.
This is the breath mint challenge. I cannot
Okay.
stand every month. I'm like with Rocky having his coffee and his Lagavulin and his breath mints. So we joked about what would happen if you combined them. Now we're gonna find out.
Okay. Do we have any? The only thing we're missing is creamer. Do we have any
coffee
creamer?
Yeah, we got creamer. I happen to have some right here.
Okay. Only the finest. Wawa coffee creamer.
Yeah, I was going to use
All
some
right.
of the whipped cream, but I didn't think this experiment warranted.
How many
use
of us are
my
trying
whipped
this?
cream. I guess I kind of have to.
Okay. Mac, do you want to try
Coraline's
this?
gonna be a hard
I'm
no.
down for it.
Okay. Okay. Coffee?
You know how to use one of these, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm aware.
Okay.
All right.
This is the creation of an all-new cocktail, guys.
Talk about unholy.
It's going to go down in.
I can't believe I'm doing this to Lagavulin.
I can't believe you're doing it to Lagavulin too. But if it's all for the sake of science.
All right.
Okay.
It's a little bit Olay, but
Okay.
that's fine. All right.
Yep. I got some mugs.
All right. Good.
Okay. Mac, I'll give you the German one. Oh wait, no, this is yours.
Yeah,
I'll give you
that's
this one. Okay.
Good God. I'm sorry.
Fairly well.
Is that enough?
I don't know. I have
Good God.
I have a jigger over
Oh,
here. If
I
you
got
could have
one more.
measured it if you wanted to.
No. This is not a precise recipe.
Yeah, not yet.
All right. How many breath mints do we put in?
All of them. I don't know.
Why did Rocky break into Jiminy
Holy
Glick?
cow, I was just joking.
Oh, I'm not. We're gonna do this.
There
Let's
we
do
go.
this.
Okay.
All right. There's probably about 30 breath mints. All right. Oh, good God.
Now,
Oh, this is delicious. I can tell it already. All right.
is Icebreakers wintergreen?
No, these
Or
are
to be specific?
Icebreakers mint, spearmint flavor.
Spearmint.
Absolutely.
Spearmint.
My grandmom used to
Peaty.
choose spearmint gum all the time, and she always used to give us gum when we were little. So, spearmint's my gum flavor.
I see.
So, spearmint.
Just like Grandma used to
Yeah.
lock up.
This is my old. They're really in there, dude.
Keep going. They're not dissolving yet.
I don't know how much they're gonna dissolve.
Your coffee is not hot enough. Okay, that's better. That's better.
This is an abomination. I wonder if you're gonna be able. Oh, I can smell the mint. Oh, oh my God, Mac, are you ready?
Oh, jeez. No.
Finishing this, you know that, right?
No. You are. I ain't.
It's gonna.
Mac, you want to come get your mug?
I don't know.
I'm not sure you do.
Give Mac a little bit extra. The little bits are making noise around the
Oh,
bottom.
holy Christ, preserve us.
Oh my God, this is gonna be so horrible. There, you're over there, bud.
Oh, here you go.
Sorry.
All right.
Nice knowing you.
You know my kilt.
We promise we'll get to the real content momentarily.
Talk about a food challenge. It's frothy. It's, woo.
It smells like hairspray.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to think. It smells very chemical.
Like detergent or something.
Oh, like floor wax or something. It's shimmer. We've reinvented shimmer.
Yeah, look, Coraline, you at least have to smell it.
She did.
Oh,
This is foul.
it's
We should have brought buckets in.
if the spearmint factory burned down.
And back to Jiminy Glick.
It smells like that one aisle in the hardware store. You go down the aisle with the oils.
I was going to say at the farmer's market or something. Because the spearmint's strong now.
There's like a chemical linoleum-y kind of plastic off-gassing kind of...
I can't even describe this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It reminds me of hardware stores I've walked in. You know, like gun oil. Like you go in the hardware store and they got the gun oil in the back with the, it's, holy sugar.
If you're at all curious what this actually smells like, you have to make this at home. This is a very, very original scent. Mac, ready?
Into the Valley of Death. Road to the 500.
Big gulp. Come on, White.
It doesn't taste as bad as it smells.
I think it tastes worse.
I think it tastes exactly like it smells.
I'm trying to blind.
I can hear it bubbling as I'm like, tipping the glass back.
You deserved this. That's all I can say.
Where's Adam? We need to save the rest of it for Adam.
If it weren't spearmint, if it were wintergreen or something.
No,
maybe not.
Then. It would just taste like Bengay. It's.
You're right. It does. It kind of smells like. It tastes like menthol. Is there menthol in those things?
It's spearmint. Natural and artificial flavor. It's added some new flavors.
It tastes like I'm drinking Bengay or Tiger Balm or something. It's drinkable Tiger Balm.
I think Coraline needs some smelling salts over here.
Here, just smell this. It'll wake you up.
Sorry.
I promise.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I think we're done. That's.
You have to rate it.
Oh.
Yeah, she's right.
Oh, the scale doesn't go negative. It's. Oh, all right, Mac.
If this was the last thing I had to drink, if I was stranded on an island and this is the last thing I would have to drink, I'm going for the seawater.
You're going for the deadly dehydration water.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lots of zeros. Lots of zeros. 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it the 1.
Okay.
At the very end.
All right. Okay.
Give it a 0.0001 for being liquid.
Yes.
Okay.
It blended well.
It did.
Yeah, blended.
There's a
great.
frothy note to it. It has a strong odor.
I think it's gonna
Are
make me
these all
sick.
positives? I don't know. All right.
I can't do this anymore.
All right.
I'm gonna get sick.
Yeah.
I'm going to rate it pie because I think if I drank enough of this, I'd be able to see through time.
I'll give it a 2.
Oh.
Oh. This, yeah.
Yeah. He rated it more
did
than
it?
the Irish coffee. You bastard!
I need to hit an actual bottle at this
Chug
point.
the bottle.
Damn.
Yes.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Just
Okay. I'm sure we have quite a few people in the room, so to say, now.
I'm sorry to everyone.
In case you're wondering, that's why we do these things at the beginning, is to kind of warm up and also give a chance for people to filter in. You know, if they're just finding the channel, you know, and tuning in sort of on time. So I think we accomplished that.
I hope I haven't ruined Lagavulin for myself.
Oh my god. I was starting to feel my stomach churn.
Oh, so am I.
Really was.
Oh,
Carl's comment, oh my god, all that mint.
yeah. There was a lot.
That was
Yeah,
painful.
perhaps if we had less mint.
Yeah, maybe.
Like 0.
We need to tweak the recipe.
Ugh.
Nah.
I wouldn't even put
Maybe.
Lagavulin in coffee, though. You don't put a peaty scotch in.
You're the one that handed it to me.
I just wanted to torture you. I didn't think it through fully. Should have thought.
You
about
forgot you were on the other end of the torture as well.
Yeah,
yes,
the
yes,
whole
indeed.
team spirit thing. My esophagus is minty fresh.
Yeah, this tastes different now. All right, Mac.
I'd love to answer some questions to get my mind off of this. So
Okay.
All right, so we have
Well,
Josh.
before
okay.
we start, boys and girls, 2 things.
Oh, yeah, a couple of announcements.
3 things. 1, sorry for all that. It was horrible. 2, around halfway through the show, we're going to unveil the Kilts and Culture tartan. We designed a tartan for the Kilts and Culture Facebook group, which kind of grew out of this show as a way to, basically create a community and have people talk back and forth and just, kind of hang out and talk about kilts and tartan and stuff. So there was a bit of a coup within the group that they decided they wanted a tartan and had to have a tartan. So you will see the tartan unleashed, unveiled, behold, whatever other big words.
Yep.
About halfway through the show. Then, at the end of the show, we did a video segment where we wanted all of the staff here to try haggis. Not everyone here has had haggis before. I'd venture to say most of them haven't. So we wanted to see if they were going to like it, or loathe it, or both. So we're going to do that at the end of the show. We have a nice little, funny little clip.
Yeah.
So stick around for all that stuff. Mm-hmm. That being said, Mr. Mack, question number 1 of the day.
All right. Well, this is time sensitive here. So
Fair enough.
Okay.
So we've got Josh. He's about to get married tomorrow, and he's using his wedding package. He ordered from us, and he would like to know: is there any last-minute tips on rocking that outfit to the max?
We have some videos on how to get dressed in a kilt outfit. I'd say watch the videos. If you've never really worn a kilt before, watch the video. Make sure you're putting all the parts of the outfit together properly for the big day. Second part, especially if you're wearing a fly plate, have your best man know what it's supposed to look like and have him kind of sort you out for the photos. Make sure in all your photos, if you're wearing a fly plate, it's pulled down and you're not disheveled looking. You want to make sure that you're really perfecting the outfit so that it's, you're going to have those pictures for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts?
Basically, go over the details a few days in advance so you know what you're doing.
So today,
try the it's tomorrow. You might want to try things on a little bit tonight. For instance, put the kilt pin on the kilt, so you make sure the placement is exactly where you want it. There are little things like that you can do. Adjust the elastic on the garters for your flashes. You can do that ahead of time. The less you have to worry about tomorrow when you're about to enter the heat of action, the better. That being said, I would say also allow a little extra time than you think you need so that if something goes wrong or if you feel uncomfortable or something, just gets wrinkled or something and you didn't expect it, you have time to fix it.
Yeah.
You want to, Bo Brummel said, never rush the hour of the toilet. It's basically saying, always take your time dressing in the morning. So that'd be my advice, is basically give yourself enough time.
Fair.
Yes.
I don't even know what to say about the toilet thing.
It's old use of the word. It's not what you're thinking.
I know, but we're in now. The only other thing I would say is just, rock it like you own it. Confidence goes a long way.
Yeah. Did he mention if he'd worn the kilt before?
Didn't say in the comment. No.
Yeah. If you've never worn a kilt before at all, I highly recommend. I think this is where you're going. Put just the kilt on tonight and walk around a little bit. Get used to how it moves, how it feels on you, how it shifts in the course of wearing it. In case you want to decide that you want the straps tighter tomorrow than you think you want them now. If you've worn a kilt before and you know what you're doing in that regard, then you don't need to worry about that. But if you've never worn a kilt before, then absolutely give yourself a chance to wear it in a non-pressure situation to get used to it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'll say,
and congratulations.
Yeah, and some personal experience. Make sure you have everything together.
Oh,
at least,
yeah.
At
Make
least
sure all pieces,
keep
parts.
all the bits and bobs together.
Well, what happened to you?
We forgot something. I remember we had the Sporran chain or something goofy that we had to go back for. So I sent 2 people back while the rest of us got ready. But yeah, always make sure you have everything there ready to go.
If you have groomsmen, if the groomsmen are wearing kilts, make sure they've tried on their outfits.
Yeah.
My brother swore up and down on a stack of Bibles that his kilt was fine, that it was going to be fine, even though he'd never worn a kilt before. So the morning of our wedding, of my wedding to my wife, not my wedding to my brother, that would just be weird. The morning of my wedding, my brother went to put on his... No, check that. The morning of my wedding, didn't feel like putting on his kilt yet because we're going to go down to breakfast and stuff.
Geez.
And I was just like, no, try on the damn kilt. I want to see you in it. and he put it on, and it was too small. Oh, I guess I gained a few pounds.
Oh.
So the morning of my wedding, which coincidentally also the same day as the Phoenixville Celtic Festival, I had to drive my brother through the crowds through Phoenixville, 25 minutes from the wedding location, to go to the shop to open it up, even though the store was closed, to move the buckles on his kilt to get out and drive back to the wedding.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
No, it all worked out fine, but the moral of the story is try the stuff on ahead of time. Make sure the groomsmen, if they're wearing kilts, are trying things on ahead of time. Make sure everything is sorted. It's one less thing to have to worry about.
Yeah, and it may not be your best man, but have somebody who's your point man. Just like, a bride will have a bridesmaid who is in charge of stuff. Basically, somebody who can keep your brain together as you're feeling frazzled and who can watch out for these things for you. And if there's an emergency, they can run and get the missing part, or they can find the safety pins, or whatever. Have somebody who's your wingman.
Yeah.
To help you out.
And always bring a sewing kit, little needle and thread,
A little travel sewing kit.
Yeah, a little travel sewing kit. Yeah, especially for stuff like that. Cool.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Enjoy. Congratulations again.
Yes, congratulations, Mr. Mack.
All right, so we have Chuck saying he's an avid snowboarder. He's asking if we've ever seen anyone ski or board in a kilt.
Yes, we have. Did I do it? No, I don't think I
used to snowboard. But
yeah, I used to snowboard. I don't think I ever snowboarded in the kilt. I've seen it done a few ways. I've seen guys snowboard in a kilt with long johns on underneath and then the kilt on top. I've seen them put the kilt on top of like snow pants, and I've seen them wear just the kilt and socks and flashes. So I've seen it a few different ways. It really boils down to how good are you at snowboarding, and how often is your rear going to be touching the snow.
Okay. I'd say if there's a sport out there, somebody at some point has tried to do it in a kilt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, have fun.
I always wanted to. I threatened my my deck hockey team, like basically street hockey inside. I threatened my deck hockey team when USA Kilt sponsored them that we were going to be, we had USA Kilts jerseys, and I was going to make kilts for all the guys.
Yeah, man.
And at least for the goalie to help protect the 5-hole, so we would not get scored on as much because he kind of sucked.
Oh, ouch. Ouch.
But
That would've
no,
been awesome.
never did it.
Oh, well.
Yeah. But yeah,
If you do
sports
it,
and kilts are fun.
get some pictures or video. I'd love to see it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you say you've seen people do it. I've never seen people
Yeah,
do it.
and
I have a picture of a guy, but they're like at the bottom of the slopes with his buddy. I have a guy in a kilt after skiing, but I don't have any action shots of somebody doing it.
I've seen the one you have. I think is he a skier or a snowboarder?
I can't tell. I don't remember.
And we used to have a customer. I completely forget his name because it was like 14, 15 years ago now.
John.
Yeah, John.
Yeah.
I remember John. He was a great guy. No, Chuck. Big, tall Chuck. Big guy.
Okay.
He used to go skiing. Actually, no, his name is Chuck. I'm not lying. No, Chuck used to go skiing in his kilt. So I have pictures somewhere of a big, tall dude in a kilt.
Yeah, I'd like to see those.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
And he wore his flashes on the outside of his snow boots, or his ski boots. It was pretty awesome.
Nice. That's awesome.
So.
Yeah, the funkiest sport picture I have in the archive is our friend Captain Ron, who's a scuba dive instructor, and we actually made a kilt just for scuba diving for him, with the web straps and everything. So you could use it kind of partially to promote his business, but we have a picture of him, in the bright blue Caribbean Ocean with his kilt on. So
I never want to make another kilt with straps and webbing straps. Did you make it or did I make it?
I think it was a combination of, I think Ian.
I remember it took like a long time to figure out how the hell we were going to do it.
I think Ian made it, and it was like a little bit of us, and like me and you and him together, just trying to
how many needles
working on the webbing. Needles were fine.
Yeah.
It was just it was just trying to figure out how the buckles were all going to work together.
Okay.
In how they're going to have to lay and hook and then be able to expand.
Yeah, because it was kind of like backwards because you're pulling on the buckle strap. Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, don't want to do it again. Anyway, next question.
Well, Chuck did say he is a climber, and if he could figure out the harness, he would be able to. He would wear it for that. But
could you wear the kilt, put on the harness first, and then put on the kilt?
I think that'd be weird.
Well,
I don't think you want
You know, it's even more weird just
Yeah.
trying to put a harness on, with, grabbing your bulge when it's, you have a kilt on and all the stuff goes around the kilt. You need the
Yeah.
separation because it goes between your legs.
Yeah, it's just I don't know for what length of time you have the harness on when you're doing a climb. I'd have to ask my brother-in-law. He's a rock climber.
The whole time.
Yeah, but I mean, like, is he gonna be kilting like when they're hiking in to the rock or whatever, and then is he taking the harness off when they get to the top, or I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
Some things are not necessarily suited directly for kilting.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do it, if it were me, I'd probably put the harness on and then put the kilt on top.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed. Good photo op though.
Depending on the angle. Next question.
So we have Matthew saying, when going with a PC, are diced hose the most appropriate choice?
Sure.
They're extremely appropriate. It's a question of whether you want to invest in them or not for your particular look.
Are they the most appropriate? I'm just taking it the way that he wrote the question.
Yeah, it's appropriate is an interesting
Yeah.
word to parse out.
They are appropriate with a PC. Yes,
Yeah.
100%. Diced hose are definitely appropriate with PC. Argyle hose are absolutely appropriate with a PC. Yeah. Regular colored hose are appropriate with a PC. So there's no more or less appropriate. It's just kind of how you want your outfit to look.
Yeah, I think it's about the tone. Diced and Argyle hose are, as you probably already know this, are some of the oldest hose designs there are. So if you want an extremely traditional look, like, really timeless or maybe a bit retro back to turn of the century or even prior, Victorian age, then yeah, that's a great way to nail it. A solid color pair of hose is much more common these days, and so you could argue it's a little bit more of a contemporary kind of a look. But it's, if you have them, absolutely flaunt them. I mean, they're awesome. Not as many people wear them these days simply because of, I think, cost probably, would you say? Or availability?
Yeah, and it takes a certain personality to pull them off to a degree. Because they're very, you're mixing patterns. A lot of guys
Some guys are not
do
comfortable
not
doing
want to mix patterns. So they'll want to wear a tartan kilt and then solid shirt, solid tie, solid hose.
Just feels safer.
Yes, it feels safer. There's less of a chance for a mistake. Also, the people that are matchy-matchy, like, would not necessarily want to wear a black watch tartan kilt with red and black diced hose. It's very traditional. It's fine.
Extremely traditional, but yeah.
But it still doesn't match. And I'm talking about, like, the American matchy-matchy thing.
Yeah, I get
So, it's absolutely appropriate. Is it for everyone? No. That's kind of where I land on it.
Yeah, but it's very definitely it smacks of you really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you are really up to your eyeballs in the tradition and being knowledgeable about the tradition. So yeah, along those lines, I'd say it's a great idea.
Yes, mixing patterns such as diced hose or argyle hose with the kilt. Although the argyle really aren't mixing; they're just the different colored version of the kilt.
Yeah.
Typically, mixing patterns when done well, I agree 100%. Really lets you stand out, lets you explore a little bit more or project more personality. It can look extremely sharp if done well. It could also look a dog's dinner if done poorly.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of know what you're doing a little bit. But I'll take it to the on a little bit of an angle to pattern tweeds with kilts.
Yeah.
Or like country check kind of shirts or those kind of things.
Window pane.
Yeah.
Tweeds and stuff like that. Yeah.
What the heck's the official word for the shirt? Mac, what's the word for the shirt?
Tattersall.
Tattersall. Yeah. So Tattersall shirts, window pane checks, those kind of things can look great with the kilt, but it takes a bold kind of personality to pull it off because it's not an exact match and you're doing something different. You're mixing patterns, but if you know what you're doing, it can look really, really sharp.
Or at least experience.
Yeah.
When you're comfortable with the tones and the colors in the tartan, and in your mind easily what looks right with it, then it's like, when you see that shirt randomly in the store, it's like, will that look good?
That'll
with my
match
kilt?
my yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm assuming that's what you do. I mean, you don't always know you're going to find a shirt that matches X tartan. It's just aha.
Yeah, I will shop for a Tattersall shirt based on my knowledge of what I have in my closet. and say, okay, this shirt could work with this or this. This
Right.
one just a window pane, like a red window pane on a white shirt. Okay, that can match anything with a red stripe in it. So I like mixing patterns in that way. And I think I do a reasonable job of it. I don't think I'm necessarily
you're
the
great.
best, but I think I do a pretty good job.
At the risk of sounding like a suck up, I think you do a great job.
Thank you.
I will give one corollary to the Dyson Argyle's hose thing. If you're doing them, I do not recommend personally using tartan flashes. I think that's a little bit much. I would and is smacks of being not as traditional. Max nodding like he agrees too. I would say stick with the solid color flashes or garter ties if you're going to do that.
Yep.
Cool.
Agreed.
Yeah, and Matt also did say he's seen pictures of Prince Charles wearing diced hose
Sure.
in formal situations.
Yeah.
And then he also mentioned about him usually wearing buckle brogues. And then
Again, not for
Also-
everybody.
also-
I
ask
can't
why.
get behind buckle brogues.
why does Rocky hate buckle brogues?
Because
He was terrified by them at a young age.
yes, I was beaten with the buckle brogue.
Yeah, he was scared by a Buster Brown commercial. Yeah.
I can't do it. I don't know why. I just hate them. And I will say it is kind of taken to a new level because I haven't seen any good ones. All the buckle brogues that I have seen have basically the top little strappy thing.
Fake.
Well, they look like shoes like a little girl would wear to Catholic school. It just weirds me out. I just can't get behind them. But the top strap works, and then the bottom, the big old honkin' buckle, it's just, for the ones that I have seen, are just decoration. They're literally like barely sewn on there. They're kind of floppy and hanging off. It's crap. I hate it.
Okay.
Ban buckle brogues. Hashtag ban buckle
You can
brogues.
see Irish coffee talk in there.
No.
It's kind of okay. I think we trod upon the rest of the question or comment. Was he saying something else, Mac? You were trying to...
No, he was just brought up about Prince Charles wearing diced hose.
Yeah. If you want to do something fun, see if you can find pictures of Prince Charles from like the 70s. It's the slight differences in the fashion between now and then. It's kind of amusing to see. They're hard to find, but you can see some of the variances. And his look now is a lot more toned down, I think, than it was back then. But
Elvis meets Scottish tradition.
yeah, more like
Rhinestone Prince Charlie.
Yeah.
Rhinestone Prince Charlie.
God.
No.
See more John Travolta in a kilt in a disco thing.
No, please stop.
Boogie woogie.
Mr. Mac.
Alrighty, so we have...
The duck hasn't moved even once. Do you remember you got the duck?
Yeah, I remember the duck's out
Okay,
there.
the duck is out. Okay.
So speaking of kilt hose, we'll stay in that area for right now. We have Lewis saying, when getting kilt hose, he gets ones that fit his feet, but they seem not to be high enough on the legs. If he gets ones that are high enough on
The heel comes up.
yeah, so he's getting the opposite. Is there anything to?
He's got
help with
long
that?
legs and short feet.
Yeah.
I've had the same problem.
Piper hose. Get a pair of Piper kilt hose or a pair of our, not to do a plug, but a pair of our cotton hose. You actually fold the top down twice. They're a little bit longer in the leg. So a pair of medium Piper hose, there's a lot more adjustability on how high you want or how low you want the turnovers to be. That's also great advice for really, really tall guys. Kurt Kinnaman, looking at you. Or guys with a little bit wider calves and smaller feet.
Yeah, I'd say I'm always frustrated by having the heel cup on my kilt hose or socks in general, riding up towards my ankle when I pull my hose up properly, and I just kind of deal with it. Occasionally, I put on like athletic socks underneath the hose, so there's more friction, so that the heel of the kilt hose doesn't ride up as easily. But sometimes I put on a pair of brogues and I have this little floppily dop of the excess fabric from the heel of the kilt hose riding up. So I've never really done the Piper hose as a solution, though. That's a good idea. I should do that. Oh yeah, how about that?
And
okay.
just by the by, floppily dop.
Floppily doppily.
New word.
I stole it from Blackadder, actually.
Ah,
Yeah, stole it from a
Fair.
Britcom.
fair. I do like floppily dop. That it's pretty nice.
Okay, you're
Not
welcome.
it's different vein than gridular, but still good.
Yeah, it's not as technical as Gridular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed. Floppily
Any other
dop.
questions?
So we've got KJ4RMZ,
Okay.
who's watching us on YouTube.
Is that the traditional spelling?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Are sneakers okay to wear with a utility style kilt? And what socks?
Yes, and
And
socks.
yes. Yep.
For utility kilts, there are no traditions. Utility kilts only go back to 1999, so it's not like it's steeped in history and this deep Celtic meaning. Was invented by a dude in Seattle who wanted to put guys in skirts and said, "Hey, I want to cut my shorts up the middle, sew it together, cargo pockets. It's fun. Add some pleats. I got a utility kilt."
Hi, Steve.
Yeah,
by the
hi,
way.
Steve. And there's nothing wrong with that. Steve's a great guy.
Yeah.
I'm mocking, but Steve Haggis from Utility Kilts is a great guy. Anyway, there is no tradition to it. So you can wear kilt hose with it and a pair of, not wingtips necessarily, but, kilt hose with it and a pair of combat boots. You can wear, Converse chucks with it, a pair of crew socks.
Yeah.
You can wear a T-shirt. You can dress it up or down. You can play with it as you want to play with it because there is no tradition. As we move forward in time, the utility kilts have been around for 21 years now. So as we move forward in time, just by the nature of moving forward in time and people experimenting and doing things, traditions will evolve out of this. And in 50 years, if utility kilts aren't just a fad and go away entirely, which they may, but if they stick around, it will have its own tradition. It's a subset of a subset.
Yeah.
So at that point, there will be some rules and not rules, but conventions and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I could see it evolving into that. It's not there yet. We are making it now.
Yeah. I would say I'll temper that a tiny bit by saying that you could argue that the same rule we have for regular kilts applies here too. That you don't want the shoes to distract from the rest of the outfit. I mean, if the kilt is the part of the outfit that you're proud of the most and what makes the outfit cool to you, then don't wear like crazy jam, Nike sneakers with all kinds of colors that are going to look distracting from the kilt. I think there's definitely become a culture of guys defaulting to combat boots or work boots of some kind with utility kilts. That's the most standard footwear I've ever worn with them, and I think most guys have ever worn with them. Sneakers, they look more relaxed, and I think most guys have a perception of utility kilts as being more of a rough and ready kind of adventure kind of a thing, so the boots feel more appropriate. But you can wear whatever you damn well please. There's really no problem with any of it.
Yeah.
I don't think flip-flops look very good with a utility kilt.
Or a regular kilt.
Or any kilt.
Or most things aside from swim trunks.
Crocs.
Only if they're day glow orange.
Yeah. Well, if you're going boating, you see this thing, form follows function, especially with utility kilts. If you're wearing your utility kilt out in a boat, you're going fishing, wear the flip-flops, wear the Crocs, whatever. If you're going out on a date, I'd go with a pair of Docs or something that looks cool.
I'll say this, minor callback.
Yeah.
If it's a black tie affair, and my options are Crocs or Bucklebrogues, I'm going Crocs.
Really? Wow.
I hate Bucklebrogues that much.
Okay.
really
All right.
hate Bucklebrogues.
Okay. Gear down. It's all right. Take your Valium. It's all right.
I think I figured out my question of the day.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
More questions? Mac?
Sure.
Or should I do
Mac.
one,
All right, so we have. This is actually a pretty good one. We've got Scott asking.
All the other ones are horrible.
No,
this one's not too bad.
or... We're not judging.
This is one of those questions that does come up quite a bit, and some people do get turned off by purchasing a certain tartan because it may not be a family tartan. They have to strictly get this, so it's definitely very fitting.
Okay.
So Scott, he bought a Great Scott tartan.
Oh, okay. I know it.
But it's not his family tartan. What's the best answer to give if someone asks, "Is that your family's tartan?" When I tell him it's not, and I bought it because I like the tartan, and he gets funny looks.
Yeah, because you're running up against the preconceived notions that non-kilt wearing people have about it. There's like, you are wearing kilt. You must have clan. You must be Scottish. Yeah, you're not fitting into their box, and so they get confused.
Yeah. You can break people that way.
Yeah, I have.
I love doing it. I would say this. If you actually have a family tartan and it's just not that one. Like, let's say you're a Stewart, but you happen to be wearing the Great Scott tartan that day. Then if you really want to let them off the hook mentally, then you just say, oh, hey, is that your family tartan? Nope. My family tartan is Stewart. That one's at home in my closet. This is a universal tartan called Great Scott. I just really like this one. This is my second kilt.
Right.
Period. If you don't have a family tartan, then if you want to give I don't want to say politically correct, but the answer that would let them off the hook again mentally, you could say, nope, I don't have a family tartan, but I really, really love kilts. So I chose a universal one. This one is called the Great Scott tartan. It's a universal one that anyone can wear. Again, you're placating their preconceived notions of, you must have clan tartan to wear kilt. So you're giving them what they actually want to hear. You're not letting them think ill of you, because they're going to think ill of you because they're idiots, because they don't know what the hell they're doing. But that being said, it's a way to give them the answer that is accurate and gives them the information that they think they want.
Yeah, I'd say either of your answers would let them off the hook.
Yeah.
But it's up to you. It's not your responsibility to educate people or to divulge your personal reasons for anything in this world, frankly. But you have to gauge on each situation how much you feel like educating that person versus how much you just want to get out of the conversation because you're trying to get through the line at the quickie mart.
Now, Eric, we do tell people to be good mentors.
We do, but I don't want people have to feel like they have to stop and give a lecture to every single person they meet on the street. I think you're
there's
within
a balance,
your right.
for sure.
Yeah, there's a balance. You're within your rights to gauge how much time it's worth investing in this. I will definitely say, as much as it might be tempting, do not make something up. Because if it's me, and if I'm in a mischievous mood, I could wind up saying something like, well, this tartan represents the Battle of Falkirk, and my great-great-great-great-grandfather died there with a sword through his skull, and the colors of this kilt represent the grass that he fell on, and the blood that spilled upon the grass, and it gets me choked up every time I think about it. But, you shouldn't do that.
It's getting thick in here.
Yeah, don't
readers?
make stuff up. Seriously, there's enough mythology out there and unsubstantiated rumors about kilts. Stick with one of the two options that Rocky gave. Basically, just
a quick and dirty.
Yeah,
answer.
As quick or as long as you want.
Yeah, and if they give you a look, or they feel weird or whatever, turn the question around on them, and start. And if you want to get into it a little bit, start a little bit of a conversation, not confrontationally. Just be like, "Oh, are you Scottish? Do you have a family tartan?" And make it a little bit about them. And then their walls will come down a little bit.
Sometimes that's what they're looking for. Is like they're looking for validation because they want the excuse to say, "Oh, well, actually, I'm a Stewart." They want to feel like you're the cool kid because you're wearing the kilt, and they kind of want you to validate them. And sometimes that's why they're asking the question.
Yep, that's a good point. They just want to. They think it's cool. They want someone to talk to about it. This is their way of opening up a dialogue. Yep. And if your first line back is, no, it's not my family tartan, it was just pretty, then you've let them down. So it's not that they're, it's just a natural reaction. If they had an expectation going into the discussion.
It doesn't meet their preconceived fantasy or whatever.
Yeah, so that's why I would have something like one of the other comments kind of on hand, ready to go, shoot at them.
And you can, and I would tend to default to, it's not my clan, but I like this tartan. Not every clan has a registered tartan.
Yep.
And and just because you have a clan doesn't mean you have to wear that tartan. You could wear a universal tartan and still wear your clan kilt pin on it, for instance. So yeah, there's any number of ways to play it. Be gentle, be kind to people.
Don't be a jerk.
So in that case, we just had Thomas ask this question.
Okay.
His family tartan is McThomas, and family tartan McThomas wear a red tartan.
Yep.
So we do not have red tartans in ours, modern ancient. So is there any rules or anything that he should be aware of if he wants to wear a red tartan and just to pick one and just go with it?
No, I'd say pick a universal tartan that you like and go with it. And then if somebody says, is that your clan tartan? Nope, my tartan is a McThomas tartan. I would, depending on your comfort level with strangers, again, like to Eric's point, you don't need to justify anything you're doing to anyone who randomly walks up to you. That being said, if you want to justify it, and you don't have a McThomas tartan because it's too expensive, or you haven't saved up to get it yet, and you just wanted a beater kilt and you're wearing a Royal Stewart cheapo
He just
kilt.
doesn't like the family tartan. Some guys don't like their family tartans.
Well,
so.
Let me finish my point first. If you haven't done, if you're saving up for it but haven't gotten there yet, then just say, nope, I'm saving up for my family tartan and a good kilt. This is Royal Stewart. I just really like this one until I get my family tartan. If you hate your family tartan because it's hideous, then you just say, nah, I really didn't like my family tartan. It's garish, so I picked this one as my placeholder for what I choose to represent my Scottish heritage.
Yeah. And again, you can wear that red tartan if you just happen to like the color red. That's fine. As we often mention here, clan-specific tartans are a relatively new tradition compared to tartan itself as a technology. And if you go back 200, 300 years, guys were mixing tartans, and it was a whole weird party color thing of, this is just happens to be what my wife wove last winter, so this is what I've got. This is a jacket I bought from some guy. It's a completely different tartan, but I really like the jacket. And things were really funky. So it's you don't have to be hog-tied by that. You pay homage to the tradition as much or as little as you want to, and as much or as little as you're able to, based on finances and things like that. So yeah, wear the red tartan if you want to. Yeah.
Very good.
That was a shaggy dog answer, but
it was.
Got my dander up.
Wolf.
Well, we have had quite a few people ask us about PV tartans, and if there's anything new coming out this year that might be out in the world that we want to share.
Sounds familiar. Sounds like a topic that we were going to bring up around
now.
Actually,
We should do it.
Okay,
boys and girls.
It's 4:00. It's tartan time.
Woot, woot. I don't know why that was disco. We have a group over on Facebook called Kilts and Culture. We started the group to basically build a community. We wanted a place for people to mentor each other, to talk about tartans and stuff, where newbies can go and learn about things. Learn if they want to learn how to do something traditionally, but not get the, that's not how it's done, how dare you kind of attitude, but they want some guidance, some gentle feedback, that kind of thing. There's a few different forums on the interwebs. There's Facebook groups and whatnot, and some of them are either traditional leaning, some of them are more contemporary. I'm going to wear what I want to wear, and they're fun, and I'm members of those groups too. We wanted to do something that was a little more just friendly in general, and kind of keep the vibe just nice, positive. And everyone just kind of positive. Yeah,
and a big tent.
Yes,
big tent.
Big tent kind of. Yeah, good way of putting it.
Okay.
So that group kind of grew out of this show and wanting to mentor and wanting to just kind of talk about all this stuff. The members started a coup. They needed a tartan. They had to have a tartan, something to represent the group as a whole. So, without further ado, we have designed the Kilts and Culture tartan. We have to have more better mouth noises.
And Coraline, did you push the magic button?
Coraline has pushed the magic button, so you're all seeing, for the first time, world premiere of the Kilts and Culture tartan. We are going to be doing it in polyviscose fabric. We're also going to be doing a limited run in wool as well. Mm-hmm. So if you are in the group or you're seeing this and want it in wool, speak now or hold your peace for at least a long time, if not forever. And the PV, we're going to just kind of start stocking as one of our stock-supported tartans. We just started taking pre-orders for it literally now. So if you go to the website, you can check it out. Just search on Kilts and Culture. And we're right now in the weaving stage. We've approved the CAD design. Mill has yet to
pre-order.
Yeah, it's pre-order.
Pre-order right now.
The mill has yet to get back with the actual date when it should be delivered to us. But I'm assuming, based on their general lead times, probably end of April-ish for making the kilts and out the door.
I think that's probably the main PV offering that we're bringing out new this year, at least as of now.
Yep,
that is the big thing. And you don't have to be a member of the group to wear it. We want something that had a nice rustic feel to it also, and you'll note in the palette choices that basically it has that nice kind of rustic
weathered kind of
look to it.
Yep.
So.
And our operators are standing by to get your call.
Hurry!
All right, enough of a commercial.
Yeah.
So anyway, hope you guys dig it. I designed it over the last. I actually wanted it to come out before Christmas, but I had a good time. Went back and forth a good bit. Talked to the mods about it a bit. Talked to a few members of the staff here. Came up with a few different iterations of it, and this was the clear winner, hands down, by not quite unanimous vote, but pretty damn close to unanimous vote.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cool. Enjoy,
Awesome.
Mr. Mac.
Alrighty, so speaking of mods, we've got Kurt.
Hi, Kirk.
He's got a question for us on Sporrans. For dress Sporrans, is there a big difference in chrome versus antique finish other than the color? Is one considered more formal than the other?
No, it's
Not
really
really.
just personal preference.
Yeah.
Chrome was more popular, I would say, just because it's shinier and the buttons are shiny on the PC generally and that kind of thing. But yeah, then at some point, I would. This isn't a hard and fast fact. This is my educated guess. At some point, it just kind of became cheapish looking to some people, if I'm gonna put it that way. And a lot of guys kind of dug the more matted, less shiny, less mirror finish, antiqued version of the metals. So that kind of came to the fore. They sell effectively neck and neck. It's not that one is sells 10 times better than the other. It's just another option, another way to sell more Sporrans, another way to give customers different options. Yeah, it's just people want options. People want to customize things. People want their own touch, their own exact tastes. So it's just a way to give people that.
I think the chrome basically came about because they were trying to mimic silver. Maybe that's obvious, but essentially silver was the metal of choice for formal Highland dress way back when, and it is expensive. I mean, and that speaks to a degree about the level of society that was investing in those things in the first place. So, especially for a formal occasion, you wanted to look very posh, you wanted to look well-to-do. So, chrome seemed like an obvious choice from the manufacturer's standpoint to offer something to people. And I'm thinking like 50s, and probably even further back than that. But I'm thinking 50s and 60s when it really probably became standard. Something that looked posh, but you could afford it. So
when did the? I'm trying to think when.
chrome's been around for a long time, but I'm
that's
thinking
where I was going to
in terms
go.
of
When is
Highland
the
dress,
electroplating and all that kind of stuff
electroplating goes back way back, but
to the chrome plating technology? I'll put it that way.
yeah, did they have chrome in turn of the century? I don't know, but I think that's basically where the chrome came from. But
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same tarnishing effects in the crevices that silver does, so it doesn't have the same definition that silver will. And so
it doesn't get the same patina.
that's what I mean.
You don't have to polish
you didn't
it.
get the patina, so it just didn't look the same. And over time, people got tired of it, and so the pewter became more popular. Now that I've said that, of course, chrome will come back in a big way, and nobody will want pewter Sporrans anymore. But
Oh no, not pewter, antique.
antiqued. Well,
Correct.
antiqued is supposed to look kind of like either look like pewter or
matted,
look like tarnished silver. I guess you could
Yeah.
say. But
Yeah.
bronze is
Just gives it more definition.
bronze is the thing right now.
Gives more detail to the design
Yeah.
because of the darkness in the crevices.
Yeah.
The bronze kind of the chocolate bronze kind of color is a fashiony thing. I don't think that's going to have a whole lot of legs, but I think it'll be around for a little while.
Yeah.
In the same way that the black, not black chrome, but like antique, but it's black, was popular for a hot minute. But yeah, I'd say straight antique and straight chrome will be around for a while. As people want more and more custom things and want things that are more unique and different, I believe, it's my opinion, that they're going to see a lot more pewter cantles and pewter bits because it's a lot. It's not too expensive. It's on par with the cost of a chrome or an antique cantle, but the development costs are much cheaper. You can get a pewter mold for a couple $100 versus a stamp, a brass stamp thing that has to stamp out for the chrome plated things, for the candles and whatnot. So it's I'm gonna go on record as saying I think there's gonna be more and more pewter cantles going forward.
Okay. Mac, you're trying to get our attention?
1924 is when chrome plating was invented.
Okay. That makes sense. That fits. That fits with what was in my brain. Okay. What would they use it for originally?
Metal.
Automotive?
Chrome plating metal bits.
Based,
It was an anti-corrosion technology.
Yeah.
So it was,
I'm guessing for automobile stuff.
Or not.
yeah, I don't have the whole article,
Give me
but
an
yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
Another reason I love the 1920s. God, I love the 20s.
Hey, we're in the roaring 20s now.
I know. Been waiting for this for a long time.
You got your little. Never mind.
Since
Yes.
we haven't brought it up yet, what tartans are y'all
I
wearing?
was about to say we should
yes.
mention our tartans. Yeah. I got my County Wexford. I'm breaking my usual advice to people by not covering up the bottom part of my tie. I usually say you should not wear a tartan tie with a tartan kilt unless you have some separation here. But it was warm and I was mixing drinks, so I'm very casual. But County Wexford, my favorite Irish county tartan. I got my harps buckle matched too.
Looks very pretty.
I love this. Love this thing.
The yeah, no, it's good. It was definitely warm
Aaron
in here.
Gabara.
Yes, it's definitely warm in here. So, would you have a sweater vest that you had on earlier?
Yeah. I have my sweater vest, but
Yeah. So that's why you're not wearing it.
yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I was stupid. I just brought in a t-shirt and a sweater. So when it was time for the show, I get to sweat.
Yeah, you got the interesting tartan today.
Yes. Today I am rocking the. Is it second ever? No, I guess he has two. Scruffy Wallace, who was the used to be the bagpiper for Dropkick Murphys, is a buddy of ours, and we've done a few tartans with him and for him. This one, when he left the band, he ended up as a sheriff up in Massachusetts, the great Commonwealth, not state, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And when he bagpipes for his department and a few different departments around him. And when he bagpipes funerals in his police gear, he wanted a tartan that matched his police gear. So I designed this tartan for him. I forget whether we registered it or not. I designed the tartan, I had it woven, but I don't know whether I registered it or not. But yeah, so if it has a name, I forget what the name is. It is the Scruffy Wallace's Police Sheriff tartan?
I think it's as simple as that.
Something like that.
It's very, very much along that line.
Yeah.
Swap foo.
Yeah. It's just fun. I loved designing this particular one. I loved playing with the grays and the blacks in it, and then just a little hint of the blue color. So it was a cool idea that he came up with and allowed me to kind of run with it. So yeah. Eventually, I figured I have a bunch of extra cloth. I need to make one for me because I like it.
Yeah. So we usually I'll put a link in the comments about the tartans, where you can find the tartans on our website. Not that one. Sorry.
Wah wah.
Yeah.
It's all mine.
Yep. And scruffies.
Fine. Next question, Mr. Mack.
Well, just to finish up, because there was also people, you can kind of see Coraline's.
Coraline
in
needs to
there.
go.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, yes, she has on the Caledonia. And then it's also for me walking on screen. I've got the Strathclyde Blue on today.
That's a really good point. We got to make sure we include these guys with this stuff from now on. So my apologies to you both.
It
trying to
came
select
up in the questions. People were asking for what all of us were wearing today. So
There you go.
You guys look very pretty.
You both do look
Especially
great.
you, Mac.
Look awesome.
All right.
all right, so we have Raymond. He is asking, can you chat about pleats, like box pleating, and also the difference between doing something to the stripe or to the set?
I believe Raymond had asked that. Yeah. Raymond Nayert?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Hi, Raymond.
Check one off my list. Okay.
See, we did keep the questions.
Yeah.
What was the actual question aside from chat about?
Could you go into some depth on the topic of pleating? For instance, set versus stripe. Also, box pleating, which I don't really know much about.
Okay.
So basically a rundown on pleating construction.
Sure.
Try not to shaggy dog this too much. But
Me? Never.
you asked for it, Raymond. Here we go.
The short version. Sorry, I'm channeling my inner Spaceballs.
Go for it.
There are a few different types of pleats that you can make for a kilt. The most common by far is knife pleating. Knife pleating is when all the pleats basically go the same direction. For men's kilts, 99.9% of them, the pleats are going to go, as you're staring down at the floor, are going to go counterclockwise around the back of your body, wrapping this direction. For women's kilted skirts, they're typically knife pleated kilts, or kilted skirts. Theirs can go either direction, just depends on the manufacturer. For box pleating, box pleats mean that there's a knife edge on both sides of the pleat. So it's going to fold in to the left and into the right, and then basically fan out to the next pleat, and then it kind of makes a Z shape.
Like an hourglass, like a Black Widow hourglass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like Z's. Think of Z, and then a backward Z facing it, and then another backward Z, and connect those back, forth. That's, if you're looking down the edge of a box-pleated kilt, that's how it's going to look. And the tops basically just barely touch, and the depths of the pleat underneath, inside, barely touch in the backside. There's something called a military box-pleated kilt, which is kind of a mix between the two, where it's shallow, like 1 inch on one side, and then about 3 inches deep on the other side, so it kind of goes back onto itself. So those are the basic types of pleating. There's also Canusi pleating, or Canusi pleating, or reverse Canusi pleating. If you know the brand Utility-Kilts, they use reverse Canusi pleating, where all the pleats on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side, wrap around to the center of the back, and then the pleats on this side are knife pleated and wrap around this direction to the back, where they meet in the center of the back. A Canusi pleat actually has a large box pleat in the center of the back, and then they knife and actually go forward.
Around towards the front.
Right. On the kilt.
Okay.
Correct. So those are the basic styles of pleating. Not many kilt makers make kilts other than knife pleated kilts. The majority make just knife pleated kilts. Some people kind of specialize in box pleats or those things, or will do them, but generally they cost a bit more because they're a lot more time intensive. Mm-hmm. Pleating styles, meaning to the set or to the stripe, is basically just a matter of the pattern itself. If you take a look at the tartan that I'm wearing here, and you kind of squint at it, the white stripe kind of jumps out at you. That would be a good stripe to pleat to. And when I say pleat to that stripe, I mean every single pleat would have that white stripe down the center of every single pleat. If it's pleated to the set, then when you're pleating up the kilt, manually on the sewing machine, you're actually advancing one part of the pattern on every pleat. So when you actually stack them all up, it's going to look like the pattern itself. It's pleated to the set or pleated to the pattern. Whereas a kilt pleated to the stripe, you end up, the front of the kilt looks different than the back, where the back just has a bunch of vertical stripes and the front has the full pattern across it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Was that reasonably succinct?
I think that was very good. You want to discuss the origins of pleating to the stripe briefly?
I will let you do it.
I'll probably get it wrong.
Basically, a lot of it, I believe, Mac backed me up on this, is military.
Originally.
Yeah. If you need to adjust the buckles on a kilt to make it smaller or a little bit bigger, it's easier to adjust on a kilt that's pleated to the stripe, because you don't have to worry about the center back being off, the center back pattern, the stripe that runs in line with your spine being a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. You can adjust it any amount, and you're going to have those vertical stripes on every single pleat.
Yeah. So you have a hand-me-down kilts or mass-produced kilts for a military context, so pleating to the stripe was the desirable way to go.
Yep.
For efficiency.
Yeah, and it's generally a little bit easier, in my opinion at least. Mac, I don't know if you find it the same way, a little bit easier to sew kilts to the stripe, because it's just, you're doing the exact same thing over and over and over.
Yeah, you don't have to think about what's going to be the center of the back and to go out from there, or to think of the pattern. You're just...
Yep, as long as
you already
the
got the
stripe
line
is
and you're going.
dead center on the pleat, you just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cool.
Hopefully
Mr. Mac.
Well, I was just
you're gonna
real
do one?
quick. Well, I just wanted to, because we were on that topic, and I think you touched on this, but we had a question a while back from Choice Yabara, asking, if it made a difference which direction the knife pleats go. He had heard that to the left for men versus to the right for women was a thing, and I think you basically have dispelled that myth. But there used to be a myth out there that knife pleats were a certain direction for men and another direction for women.
Yeah, it's the knife pleats when you're sewing a kilt, especially on a sewing machine, or if you're doing it by hand and you're right-handed. It's easier for the bulk of what you've created to be to your left, so you're sewing with your right hand. On a sewing machine, the arm of the sewing machine comes out and over, and the bulk of the fabric that you've done falls off the edge of the table, and you're just working within the little arm of the sewing machine or underneath that arm. So it's easier for the pleats to go a particular direction for men's kilts. For women's, they're done both ways. There's no hard and fast, it must be this direction or it must be that direction. For men's, 99% of the time, the pleats go, as, again, if you're looking down, wearing the kilt looking down, they point toward, on the left-hand side, they wrap around towards the back, then on the right, they start coming forward. That's how 99.9% of kilts that are knife-plated are plated for men. Women, I'd say it's probably 50-50, one direction or the other.
Yeah, there's no significance to it, basically. Okay.
No.
All right.
Max coughing more than me today.
I know.
Have some more coffee.
Hopefully, once I get through this junk, it'll be done with.
I got some.
Yeah, we got some. We got some.
God,
that
no.
stuff should cure anything.
Oh.
All right. Here's an interesting question. Marcus is asking. He knows that we made some kilts for Madonna, and wondered if we get excited when we get entertainers or in the realms of music, inside or out, that order kilts from us or order accessories from us.
Yeah. It's always cool to have someone that you, well, for the Madonna thing, I'll say this. I cared about the money and them paying. Kelly, my wife, cared about the fact that Madonna was ordering kilts from us and thought it was really cool.
So you're not a huge Madonna fan?
No.
No?
She's not a material girl.
No.
He's more of a Lady Gaga guy, actually.
What I will say was cool was when we actually they gave us tickets to the show, so it was cool to see the audience reaction to to her and the dancers and Lauren, the tall bagpiper dude, all wearing our kilts on stage, and the positive, just wow factor that everyone else had in seeing that. That was neat. That to me meant more than the fact that Madonna was wearing the thing. Mm-hmm. It is cool when it's. I'll say it this way. I'm trying to be as honest as I can about this. If it's a celebrity that I don't care about, it's like, great, cool, here's your stuff, and we're going to give them the same level of service we're going to give anybody else.
Because everybody's a rock star when you shop with USA Kilts. Sorry.
We get TV shows ordering stuff on occasion.
Right.
It's really more of a pain in the butt, especially for TV shows, because they're always
Outlander.
They need them. Well, no, not even that. Because we didn't do anything for the show itself, for the production.
It was still a pain in the butt.
Well, true. That's just because they wanted $1 billion of the stuff. But when you do a kilt for a TV show, most time production companies need something, and when the time they cast the actor and get everything finalized in the script and know what they actually need and get the dimensions, waist, hips, length of the actor, it's like, okay, well, we need this tomorrow. Can you make it tonight, stay late, and then overnight it?
Yeah.
Or we need it in 2 days, so we need you to come in early tomorrow so you can get it out on the first UPS truck. And it's just ridiculous the time frames that they want them in. Mm-hmm. I'm going off on a tangent and ranting about this stuff now.
People are paying for. Are they paying for this? You're not paying for this. You're paying YouTube for this, maybe. I don't
No,
know.
but it's cool. It's neat. It's fun to see your stuff in the media. It's cool to see a celebrity or somebody wearing your stuff.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. But at some point, it's if I don't like the person or like the show, I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, and we'll do it. But it's more fun when I like the guy. Like when we did, Scruffy's kilt from Dropkick Murphys. Mm-hmm. That was just, it was our first year in business, I guess. So that really meant something to me. When we did a kilt for the show The Office, when on the Jim and Pam wedding episode, that was super cool. we did it for Brian Boitano's Christmas Spectacular one year, and I didn't care. Like, I'm not an ice skater. So that didn't grime, or not grind my gears, it's the bad one.
That's a bad one.
I don't know. Didn't get me all excited.
I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway,
I don't know. You and I don't tend to be
starstruck.
Star Trek. Yeah, we're not really. We've been too subcultural in our lives to be really.
Yeah.
Ooh, famous person, But if they're cool, or if there's a cool story, I mean, like the guy from the Doobie Brothers, he was a cool guy. He's a really nice guy, and it turned into one of these stories where you were helping him do something he'd always wanted to do. And that there's a lot of customers like that. But
yeah. I'll say this:
it's fun.
It's neat. It means more to me, and it's more neat, I guess, when it's the person themselves ordering something or contacting us versus a company on their behalf.
Yeah.
That's more fun when you get personal interaction with the person, and you get to see that they're a cool guy. Like Eric's alluding, John McPhee, the guitarist from the Doobie Brothers, is an honestly nice human. And the quick funny story with his was he ordered a jacket. We didn't know, he just ordered a jacket through the website. We sent him the jacket, and the sleeves were like 4 inches too long. And he took pictures of himself in the jacket, showed it to us. We just treated him like a normal customer. Sorry about that. Something got screwed up. He sent it back. We paid to send it back to us, sent it back, had it fixed, blah, blah, blah. And, treated him nicely as I would expect to be treated if a company screwed something up on my order. And when I got to talking to him about it, and he just said, as the most sincerely nice guy, they said, hey, I'm in this little band, and I don't know if you've ever heard of us, but next time we're out in your area, if you ever want to come see us, I'd love to meet you. I'd love to have you to one of the shows. And I said, oh, what band are you in? And he's like, oh, a band called the Doobie Brothers. And I was just like, are you kidding me? So he's an honestly wonderful human being. And that is always really cool to see when you meet someone who is famous, who is down to earth, who really is a nice person, and just a normal guy.
I think it's more exciting for me, just as a history person, when there's a story behind why the person's getting the kilt. If somebody's getting it as a prop, we've definitely had experiences where, like you said, where they want it for a theater production or something, and it's just a thing to them. It's just a cool little bit of color,
shtick,
or it's shtick, or it's like, well, we're doing Brigadoon, we gotta have kilts. If it's a personal story, that is a lot more interesting, and we've had some really cool, very interesting people come in to the store over the years to get kilts for a variety of reasons, and that's the fun part for me. It always was working in the sales room, was basically getting to hear the story of these people, how they got into it in the first place.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
The weddings where it's like Scottish and Native American weddings that we've done, or the people that the first firefighter memorial tartan kilt that we had, that was the guy had got a wedding and was married on Antarctica, down there. So we have a picture of him and his bride outside in Antarctica with penguins. So it's just ridiculous. Like, those kind of things are as cool, if not cooler, than a production company saying, "Hey, we need an order tomorrow for the TV show thing."
Yeah, that's the cool thing about this. That's the awesome thing.
Yeah,
I'm rambling. Anyway,
it's fine. It's a good ramble.
More questions?
Oh, they're still rolling in.
Why am I not surprised? Thank you, everybody.
So we have the Super 81 millimeter 1. What is the proper type of dress you can wear with an animal mask Sporran?
Anything.
Anything.
A semi-dress Sporran, or an animal mask Sporran, or full mask, or animal head on, whatever you want to call it.
Head
Sporran.
on, full mask. Yeah.
Applied directly to the forehead. Applied directly to the forehead. A full mask Sporran, you can wear day wear, or you can wear formal. There's no right or wrong answer there. You can wear it, to a Prince Charlie black tie event. You can wear it to a Celtic festival during the day. I would say my only personal take on it is I think it would look a little bit much and that's the best way to put it. It's just a bit much, worn with a t-shirt and a kilt.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
That kind of thing. But you could. There's no hard and fast rule that you can't. What I would probably pair it with would be, a tweed vest and a pair of kilt hose.
Yeah.
Something that level.
Yeah.
But it's most of the time people don't wear it to something that informal, that casual, because if you're at a Celtic festival, you're going to get grease on it or beer on it or something like that, and they ain't cheap.
Yeah. I mean, there are some guys who make it themselves, like Aiden Crawford and people like that who make their own animal pelt stuff. They might be more cavalier about it because they know what went into it. And they can always make another one. But for a lot of guys, a full mask Sporran is an investment. So you want to keep it for special occasions. I agree, it looks a little bit much for casual wear. It kind of also depends on the pelt. Like if it's a very short nap pelt animal, then I think it's more flexible. If it's a big fluffy thing, it looks weird with a casual, even weirder with a more casual outfit. Whereas if you've got the big going on formal outfit with the really fancy jackets and the really fancy day plate or fly plate and and all this kind of stuff, then a big honking in your face fluffy fox Sporran, Arctic fox doesn't look out of place.
I'd say the majority of them are fluffier though.
Yeah,
like
so
fox,
I think
badger.
They look odd to me.
I don't disagree.
If the rest of the clothing is not
over the top, peacocky.
Equally over the top. Yeah. That's how I feel about it.
Cool. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. But is there a rule about it? No.
Yeah.
Gauge your Sporran before you go out, I guess.
Mr. Mac. Oh, we're gonna.
Should I do?
We have a half an hour left. I should be talking to them, not you.
I think we should do some
half an hour?
questions.
Do some of these questions. That's what she's saying.
From the Magic Clipboard. Okay.
We're gonna do some questions from the Magic Clipboard.
I do have one question that I want to get to you.
All right, well,
I want to get to you, Eric.
Okay, Corali's trying to help us out here, but Mac, I blame you because you're not removing the duck.
Well, hey,
he's got questions out the wazoo.
Crowd's asking questions.
All right.
Our public demands.
We gotta do the rapid fire show sometime. Yes, Mac. How may I help you?
You can read some of your questions.
No, read your little question there, Eric.
But I do have one question. I want to get to you eventually.
Okay. All right.
One, I think it's up your alley.
Okay. Fine. Okay.
We're very rambunctious
I'm gonna read
today.
I'm gonna read. I think it's the coffee. Irish coffee for the win.
Not for the win.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to dovetail, since we were just talking about the wearing a full head or full mask Sporran casually. Edward Montgomery, Monty, had actually he had said a similar question. He said, I've always been puzzled that people can get so nitpicky about things like flashes and belts with vests and hose height and all those other details, and yet nobody ever seems to ask, why are you wearing a formal dress Sporran with a t-shirt at a family barbecue? And I think that dovetails with what we were just talking about. So
yeah,
a t-shirt with a dress Sporran.
Yeah.
Why do people do that?
Do people do it? Yes. Do they do it well? No. I would say this. It's my guess is it's done for a few reasons. One, they don't know what they're doing. And they're trying to figure it out. And they're just, they're getting out there and doing the best they can. Mm-hmm. And, bonding to them. Bully, sorry.
Bully.
Sorry, my Scottish. So that's what they're doing. Or B, that's the only Sporran they have. Yeah. So that's what they're wearing. There's a lot of inexpensive, poorly made generally, but inexpensive dress Sporrans. Yeah. And guys in their minds say, ooh, look, that one's pretty. I like that one. That's fancy.
And it's only $20.
Yeah. So there's that element as well. Another potential is guys get married in their kilt and then figure, hey, I need, so they get a full formal outfit. Prince Charlie, dress Sporran, kilt, hose, flashes, ghillie brogues, the whole nine. And then they decide, hey, I haven't worn my kilt for a while. It's family barbecue. I'm going to wear my kilt. And then they realize they don't have any other Sporran other than their dress Sporran. So by default, that's what they're wearing.
Yeah.
Or they feel like they've spent so much money on a nice dress Sporran that they need to get more use out of it because I spent $250 on this freaking thing. I'm going to wear it. So unfortunately, it kind of flies in the face of tradition a little bit. It would be like wearing, patent leather shoes with, with jeans. It's a bit not done. It's a bit off. So that's, yeah.
In a nutshell. Yeah. Do you do anything about that, or you just kind of smile and nod and?
That's one of those where I
would mostly assume that that there's a problem involved with why they did it, or ignorance involved, and I wouldn't want to call them on it because it'd be rude.
There's certain things I feel like I can mentor and guide people and not call them out on it, like, hey, buddy, but one of those like, hey, did you know? So wearing the pleats backwards at a festival.
Oh, yeah.
I will absolutely tell someone, hey, did you know the pleats actually are supposed to go in the front, just so you know you have your kilt on backwards, and kind of lean in, say it quietly, and mentor the person a little bit. Now, that's a clear, obvious yay or nay. For the dress Sporran, there's more of a potential backstory or reason why they have to do it.
Yeah.
So I would see that as a little bit more rude to just go up and assume something that the guy, doesn't know what he's doing and kind of say something there.
Yeah, so if somebody is posting a picture of themselves, say, in the group online, and they're proud of the fact that they've kilted up, and they're doing that, they've got the fur dress Sporran on with their clan t-shirt standing in the backyard, is there a graceful way to react to that, or do you just kind of let it go as
yes,
you do you know?
The way I've always treated critiques, the best way to critique anyone or deliver bad news or a bad review or something like that is sandwiching the bad news between good news. So I would say, hey, I love your example, clan t-shirt, clan kilt, dress Sporran, pair of sneakers. I'd be like, dude, I love your casual look. You're rocking it. It's really cool. Looks like you're having a great time. One minor note, if you don't mind me, being a little bit forward, typically a day Sporran might fit in a little bit more with the casual level of your outfit. That being said, it's awesome that you're repping the clan. You got your t-shirt on. Good on you. Mm-hmm. So if you sandwich a critique, a minor one, not 27, one critique, pick the major one if there's multiple issues wrong with an outfit, but sandwich one critique between two compliments or two attaboys. It generally goes a lot better because people aren't as offended or taken aback that you're saying something. You bring their walls down by saying something nice. You offer a little bit of constructive criticism, and then you build them back up with a nice comment at the end.
I agree. I like to stress the constructive part too. I think when I'm critiquing somebody about something like that,
you straight up say, do you mind constructive critique?
Well, no, that's part of it. But I was going to say, I try to couch it in terms of how I think it could be a benefit to them. Like, say, for instance, in this example, I'd say, like, the dress Sporran's cool. You may find that a day Sporran would be less to worry about, and you wouldn't have to worry about something happening to your Sporran if you wore a day Sporran at the festival instead of the dress Sporran. Might feel more secure if you keep that reserved for special occasions, so nothing happens to it. Something along those lines. So I feel like I'm trying to give them a pro tip.
Agreed.
As opposed to a smackdown, a boost up. You know what I mean?
Understood. It's
or you got guts wearing a dress Sporran at a festival. Man, I wouldn't do it. I'd be too worried about something happening to the chains or something like that.
The only thing I would worry about that is, are they going to get the hint? Because
online communication sucks. I hate doing any of this online.
That's why I'm saying in certain circumstances, it's better, in my opinion, to go a little bit more direct and give a direct critique. Because in playing your scenario out for a sec, the guy has a $30 dress Sporran, and you say, hey, I'd worry about getting it mucked up, blah. You might want to reserve that and just wear a leather one where you could wipe it off if something spills on it. Nah, it's only $30. It's fine.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm generally more of a direct and to the point, but sandwich it as a methodology.
I'll buy that.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, but yours would work too.
Okay. Should I do another one?
Yeah, let's do another one too.
Okay. I'm gonna link two together because I can.
Fancy, getting tricky.
Yeah, and again, we've touched on this before, but we had Sergio Santos, who's on YouTube, and he was saying, "What's your opinion about someone wearing a kilt who has no heritage connection to kilts?" And I'm going to link this to a question from Enos, who asked if any of us here at the company have a direct Scottish heritage, and if so, from where in Scotland specifically. How many of us have family tartans, family clan connections of our own? So I think we can. This is a mantra of ours, to a degree, about whether you can wear a kilt or not if you're not Scottish.
Yeah.
And we are kind of examples of that in this building.
Yeah.
Also,
a lot of we are a mixed bag here at USA Kilts. We are in the middle of, not quite middle, but the edge of Pennsylvania Dutch country. There's a lot of Germans in this area. There's a lot of Welsh in this area. It's a big, it's not a Scottish stronghold, as it were. So for employees, which, we have to pull from the pool around us, there's not a direct, strong Scottish community here. It's a mixed community of other European type stuff and other communities, or not ethnicities, heritage kind of thing. So, and just that's kind of how it is in America in general. There's just a lot of people who have
always a
mixed
mishmash,
heritage.
depending on where you are.
Period. None of us are from Scotland. None of us have, all of their parents were from Scotland. We're all mixed to some degree. Some of us have zero Scottish, and that's fine too. I started the company just by obsessing about kilts and Celtic music and that kind of stuff. I don't really have Scottish ancestry that I know of. I have a bit of Irish, and I'm mostly German. But something about the kilt, something about the culture spoke to me. And the more I kind of peeled back the layers of the onions, the more I wanted to know, the more I obsessed about it. So my entire life was consumed by learning about Scottish stuff, and then learning about kilts, and then learning about how to make kilts, and then constructing them myself and trying to figure different things out. It's just the way my brain is wired. So, and then the more I learned about it, the more excited I got. And I, started a company with my wife, and 15, 17 years later, here we are.
Yep.
How'd you come to it?
I got into kilts and all that as an outgrowth of being a history, goober. I have Campbell on my father's side and Stewart on my mother's side. But those are further back in the line, and I have pretty much equal parts of German and English. And Norwegian is in there also. So
yeah.
I'm Northern European guy genetically. But I've always been drawn to Gaelic, Celtic, and British history. And I've always been drawn to tribal culture, both my own roots and any tribal cultures in the world. Really, just I admire the strength of those things, and so that's kind of how I fell into it. And when I realized, hey, I do have some connection to this stuff, then that just amped up my interest even more. So yeah, I have days where I'm feeling very much, yes, today is a Stuart Tartan day, brah. And then I have other days where it's like, yeah, I'm feeling more, just kind of out in the woodsy, kind of primitive guy, so I'm going to crank some metal tunes and wear, a utility kilt. But it's, so I'm a mix in that sense. But it's definitely the heritage and the sense of a pre-modern mindset that got me into it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a little hard to describe, but...
What was the first question again?
How do we feel about people who don't have a Scottish connection wearing kilts?
Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I don't have a Scottish connection, really. I love wearing kilts. What it boils down to is something we say a lot. It really depends on the angle and where your heart's at coming to it. Are you a sincere student of the culture?
Right.
Are you doing it for the right reasons? Are you doing it for wanting to further the culture, wanting to steep yourself in it, wanting to learn about it, versus wanting to be a caricature of it?
Right.
If you are a sincere student of the culture and you're really, really into it, you can do all kinds of stuff. Hell, I have a show about it now.
Yeah.
So it really just matters about your level of how much you want to learn, how much it means to you, and how much you're just giving it lip service.
Mm-hmm. These guys want to chime in? Mac?
I mean, I've said it on here millions of times. I'm the PA Dutch. I'm the Dutchie in the group. Mm-hmm. Grew up in Southern Lancaster County, so I'm Scotch. Irish, German, through and through. But I mean, I got into the whole aspect just when I was dating my wife. My wife came out to the shop and she said, "Hey," or I came out this way. She's like, "Hey, there's a kilt shop in town," and I was like, "Oh, really? I know I have Scottish ancestry. I'll go check it out," and then end up buying a kilt while I was there. So it just
And
kind
we
of
never let him leave.
yeah,
he never
exactly. I
left.
kind of got locked in after that. But no, it was just one of those deals where I've always had an interest in history. So it was an easy fall into.
You had some connection.
Indeed. Yeah.
Cool.
The commonality here, for the vast majority of our employees, is we all love this stuff one way or another. Either we love sewing, or we love kilts and Celtic stuff, or we love a mixture of it. Or we just love the culture aspect of it, or we love bagpipes. There's a reason why it speaks to all of us here as well as out there. So it's when you lean into it, this is what you get.
Yeah. I was thinking we got like at least 3 Irishmen. We have an Anderson.
Who that's not actually his Scottish side.
Yeah, I know. That was funny when I found that out. Yeah, but
A
yeah,
lot
it's
of
definitely
Krauts,
it's a
a lot of
mix.
Germans. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a mix,
Yep.
but a respectful mix. I think that's the key.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. A good mix.
should we go back to you, or should I keep going?
Well, we can throw that one in that I've bookmarked.
We have enough
for
time
you.
for about
Okay.
2 more.
Yeah,
And
then we're doing our.
The Americans try haggis. And speaking of employees at USA Kilts, we made many TV stars out of our employees. So you're going to get to see a bunch of different people that work in the building trying haggis for the first time, potentially the last time for some of them.
This is part of our ramping up for Burns Night,
Yeah.
in case you're wondering. So.
Mr.
All right,
Mac.
Mac.
One
All
more
right.
from you, then
Yeah.
one more from Eric.
I'm gonna put this down.
So David is
Make
asking,
sure I'm ready. Okay.
can you mix the greaser rockabilly look with the kilt?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you could. It's going to come off to most guys as more punk. I'd be careful. I mean, yeah.
I wouldn't do cowboy boots that you can do in the rockabilly thing. I would definitely do
Question
combat
was
boots.
directed at me.
I know, but I'm chiming in on that.
Okay, fine. All right. Be my guest. I gave my answer. Yes.
Yes. There's my answer.
No, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I would not do cowboy boots. Might be able to do two-tone shoes of some kind.
Are you how into rock? Let's back this up a bit.
I'm not much of a rockabilly
See,
guy.
I was.
Okay.
That's why I jumped on it.
See, I don't
The-
know. Well, Max said it was a question for me.
I know.
I figured this would be
The
more
perception is
like
that I'm
I
more
was
the-
going like the
No.
greaser.
Dude, Tiger Army, Necromantics, the Brian Setzer Orchestra. There's all kinds. Dude,
See, the
Rocky's
50s.
dropping the mic and walking
Oh,
away.
yeah, the 50s to me is like Louis Prima, not Elvis. So, you know. That
Got my mug.
Coron's like, oh my god, what did you just do to my audio track? No, I what shirt would you do though? Could you do a bowling shirt, or would you just stick with a t-shirt and a leather?
I'd stick with white T-shirt, black T-shirt, band
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah,
you
band
could do a
shirt's easy.
pompadour.
I've got like a mechanic shirt on over here.
Yeah, mechanic shirt. Yeah.
But I think it's like a bowling shirt with the stripes going down.
Oh,
I
you mean
can't
kinda
decide if
like
I'd like that.
the 2.5 Men.
Yeah,
what was-
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie
yeah,
Sheen
yeah.
shirt. That's
No, I wouldn't do a bowling shirt with it.
No.
No, but you could do a solid color black or a band shirt.
Yeah.
Kind of along the lines of a punk rockish kind of look.
That's my thing. I
Just
feel like-
combat boots, kilt, a regular day sporran.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think you could do straight up rockabilly. I think it would come off to the casual observer looking at you. They think you were doing more of a punk rock thing.
It would really boil down to your hair.
I was
If you
gonna say
throw a
that the
pompadour
hair-
on with it,
the hair is going to be the weird
you're
part.
fine. Yeah.
I don't know if I dig it. That'd be crossing the streams for me personally. But I get a little OCD like that, so I don't know. But
Yeah. It would be.
was this a question from you, or was this a question from
No,
a customer?
this came in.
Okay.
It would be.
All right.
It would be a little tougher than I think I'm giving it credit. I think it would be a little bit tougher to pull off, but it would just be a straight up casual type look.
Because kilts have been a part of the punk scene since the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean,
it would end up even though if you weren't, it's a lot of those types of scenes, whether it's punk, whether it's metal, whether it's rockabilly, whether it's oi, all that's a lot of it overlaps.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a lot of commonality: jeans, leather jacket, plain color shirt. It's the uniform. Yeah. So it really, for that, boils down to hairstyle, which is kind of why I went with as long as you have a pompadour or something rockabilly-esque, okay.
I think the tattoos are a big deal also. The style of tattoos you go
style of tattoos. Yeah. Having tattoos, all of them have tattoos.
Yeah, but I mean the style specifically.
Yeah,
definitely
old nautical, old school. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so...
If you have a Johnny Cash throat tattoo, that says rockabilly.
You getting that next?
Don't tempt me. Kelly would kill me.
That would be fucking awesome. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, rockabilly is not one of my scenes, so I appreciate your input.
It is
on the topic. But
sorry, I jumped on you.
That's all right. It's all right. And yeah, the more I think about the bowling chair is more of a swing thing than a rockabilly thing, so that's irrelevant anyhow.
Cool. All right, we'll do one more of yours.
Okay.
And then we're gonna see the Haggis video.
Can we get somebody to do a rockabilly version of Amazing Grace or?
Motorhead did a rockabilly album.
But that's not Scottish anthem. I'm thinking Scottish national tunes or.
I know.
Or Irish.
I'm just thinking
Irish
of random
rebel tunes,
rockabilly stuff. Headcat. It was the Brian Setzer Orchestra with Lemmy.
Okay.
Horrible album. I love Lemmy. Horrible album.
Let's see. Mara Morris asked us, what is your procedure, personally, for making your outfit ready to wear before you go out? For example, do you starch anything? Do you have any tricks for removing lint? What sort of details do you worry about, or do you feel people overlook before they leave the house for the day? If you're doing your thing in the morning.
Yeah. Say make sure your shoes are polished. If you're so inclined. I'd really say it just kind of. I've been wearing kilts for 17 years, so it's kind of second nature. So I don't have a routine other than I have a very, very keen eye for detail. I will say that. So even if a minor thing is wrong, I will pick it out and see it. To the detriment of some of the people who work here. But no, I'll just basically just get myself dressed in the closet, know what I'm going to be wearing that day. I'll, pick my my kilt hose out of the drawer, pick the flashes I'm going to want to wear, and then I'll just look at myself in the mirror just to make sure it's kind of sorted. And then, when I'm putting on my kilt hose, making sure that I'm adjusting the flashes to the proper position while I'm putting the hose on, not just kind of throwing the flashes on, but I try to pay attention to the minor details as I'm doing them so that when the time you stand up and your outfit's together, it looks good as a full outfit. Mm-hmm. But it's just, to me, it just boils down to kind of just sorting myself out throughout the day, making sure there's no, dust or flakes or anything, making sure that, my beard is trimmed nicely, but that's not really kilt related.
Yeah, it's just general grooming.
Yeah.
I think general grooming kind of is an answer. Is build thinking about the parts of your outfit into your general good grooming habits. I'm trying to think if there's anything specific that I would recommend. I mean, I have a lint brush that I keep handy if I need it, and just try and check. It's really helpful to have really good lighting in at least one room of your house. I have a problem at my house where I have very dim lighting in a lot of the rooms, not a lot of natural light. So having bright lights in the bathroom is definitely helpful. So make sure if you're bleary-eyed at 6 in the morning, you're trying to make sure that your shirt doesn't clash with your tartan. It's good to have some good light for that. And other than that, not a lot. I tend to put the kilt on last or almost last, so I can get the kilt hose and flashes done first and make sure they're perfect, without having the fabric in the way when I'm looking at stuff. Yeah, pretty simple for me. But.
Yeah, there's not a lot to it. Just, pay attention to what you're doing. I don't really have any, starched. He asked
I don't.
specifically about
Yeah, I don't
starch.
starch anything.
My shirts, I don't really starch. I don't wear neckties a lot. Oftentimes, if I'm wearing a button-up shirt, I'll just leave the top undone with a vest and rolled up sleeves kind of look. I'm a little bit more casual, dressy-ish as a style. If I'm going out for formal, then I'll make sure my my top button's done. I'll have my the wing collar is folded down appropriately. The bow tie is nice and centered. The band is straight around the collar and that kind of thing. Not too tight that it's crimping the collar.
Right.
Little details like that, but those are. Yeah, I'll make sure my kilt pin's in the right position. But it's just a matter of just, paying attention as you're putting together each part of the outfit individually, and then the whole thing comes together by itself.
Yeah, I think the more habitual you are about wearing the kilt and the stuff that goes with it, the less you need to think about this stuff. It becomes second nature, like you were saying.
Yep.
I would say just keep an eye on the maintenance level or the fatigue factor, I might say, of your various items. Like you can be really well put together, but if you get a really nasty ring around the collar or underarm stains on your shirt, that kind of detracts. So those are the kind of details I'd look at. Like is the edges of the leather on your sporran getting worn? Like have you had it for like 20 years and it's really starting to look ratty? Little things like that, just maintenance level things or fatigue of the material kind of things is what I'd think about.
I would say this: the ring around the collar thing, absolutely. Two, if you're going to be going out for a formal evening or somewhere where you don't want to, where you may be hot and you might sweat, I'd say put on an undershirt so that it kind of absorbs, pit sweat kind of thing. For the sporran, there's a warmth and a something to having a well-worn day sporran.
Sure.
Like if you look at Prince Charles sporran, it is an old sporran, and actually the hunting sporran is the one I'm thinking of. The actual the one, I believe it's the far left, or one of the ends. The leaf is actually torn on it if you look closely at the photo.
Interesting.
But he still wears it because it was his father's or grandfather's or whoever's sporran. Yeah, it's a sentimental thing.
Okay, that's cool.
I would say that doesn't translate nearly as well to dress sporrans, where if you have an old like let's say sealskin dress sporran that's from the 1930s and the sides have been rubbed bare from wearing it on the kilt and sitting down and getting up and moving around, that's going to look sloppier than a well-worn, well-loved dress or day sporran.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's also day sporrans for casual, where it's okay to be a little bit less crisp, a little softer on the edges, versus formal, which is more, pristine.
Also, he's a prince. He can kind of do what he wants.
It's true.
Yeah.
He has good style, though.
He does.
Say what you will about him.
No, he really does. Yes. He's definitely a poster boy for us in many respects.
Indeed. Quite.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
The moment everyone has been waiting for. Do Americans like haggis? Do Americans know what haggis is? Will they violently react? You're about to find out. Miss Coraline, roll it.
It is its own thing that I have never tasted before.
Today, we're going to try haggis.
Have I ever had haggis before? Yes, many times.
I've had it on a few occasions as well.
The one that I had was not a good experience, but then it wasn't a good haggis from what I understand.
I have never had haggis before. I've never even heard of it until last month.
No, I've never had legitimate haggis before. This is a first for me. I've never even had fake haggis. All right.
Yes, I have also had haggis before.
I am actually a veteran of the competitive haggis eating competition.
I don't know what haggis is made of. I assume it's made of edible animal parts, but I'm not too sure of that either.
I have a small understanding of what's in it.
Sheep guts with spices and oatmeal wrapped up in a lovely little sheep case.
Looks like a praying mantis cocoon.
The other parts that nobody else eats, from what I understand.
It is the intestines of sheep, lamb, other animals wrapped in stomach baked.
It's basically just oats, meat, seasonings, and then, it's all boiled inside of a casing of one sort or another.
I'm getting a stomachache already.
We're about about to eat it, and I don't want to think about that too much.
I think I'm really gonna like it.
I'm hoping that this will be a better haggis than what I had before.
I'm a carnivore, so I'm hoping it just because there's meat in it, all of it.
It would be a new experience for me. I'm really hoping. I love the barbecue. I love eating all kinds of meat, so I'm hoping I do like it.
I have a very strong gag reflex. Like, once I think I don't like anything, I can't, like, contain it. So
I see.
I have to like this, or I'm gonna vomit.
Yeah, aim that way.
This is awesome.
Ooh, fancy feast. It looks like dog food.
Yeah, actually, kind of resembles dog food.
It looks like it smells.
Very similar to Science Diet canned dog food.
I don't know, what would Gordon Ramsay think of this presentation?
They've got quite a bit of oats in there. Smells pretty good.
I don't know, but I'm sure he'd throw in here somewhere.
Not that hungry.
It doesn't look that bad, really.
It looks so bad.
Definitely smells spicy.
There's no jiggle.
It looks like a meaty oatmeal mixture.
It smells pretty good. Yeah. I'm ready to dive in.
Oh, you're going for that first.
I need to prep the palate. Just trying to smell that and get the scent of that out of there.
Okay.
All right, I'm just gonna have it a touch.
Oh my god!
Let's start with this.
Yeah.
Is it too early to drink?
No.
Good.
It's never too early to drink.
Not when you're eating haggis.
Since it's only 9 o'clock, are we capped at just one serving of scotch, or can I go in for seconds?
See, I'm enticed to try the haggis now because that tasted so bad.
Let's try.
One for the money, two for the show.
Okay, just do it.
Ready?
Yep.
Slanja.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Oh, it's pretty crumbly.
Yeah, it just usually crumbles apart.
It's pretty good, actually.
Kind of like meatloaf? Because of the onions, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And the grains in it, they're very, very pronounced.
It's got kind of a dense, like an oaty taste.
It's so weird to chew because it's like not solid.
That's actually not bad.
Let's have the haggis drink a little.
Enjoy some first.
I think I like it with adding that to the top of it now. I think that adds a little something extra to it.
It kind of brings stuff out.
I like the onion. I like the spice. I like it's just good.
Yeah, Emily. Not calling
It's
it
not that weird, America. It's pretty good.
Yep.
Oh, that was hard to swallow.
Like, the meat doesn't have much of a flavor. I guess that's what liver is, just flavorless meat.
I'm getting that nice lung aftertaste. That's settling really well.
More oniony version of Scrapple.
It's like Scrapple with chewy Rice Krispies in it. I think the Scrapple analogy would be the closest.
I don't think so. I don't think so. It's more, this is like a hamburger.
I actually like the spices in it.
I don't know.
still can't pick off what they are.
The smell is definitely in a different realm from the taste.
Yeah, it's like two separate things.
Yeah.
I was not expecting to like it at all. I wouldn't not eat it.
I would totally eat this all the time.
Yeah, I think this is pretty good.
I'm enjoying this. Compliments to the chef and the sheep.
Very delicious.
And would you eat this again?
Well,
Put more on the plate. I'll
plate's
eat it
empty.
again.
I could eat this every day.
I would definitely eat it again.
If any of you guys want to send some practice haggises or haggai my way,
It would be one of those things I think everyone should try at least once, just to try it and have that experience.
Absolutely.
Big yes. Absolute recommend.
always try new things.
It wasn't bad.
No.
It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad.
It can't hurt if you want to experience your culture. It's definitely top of the chain for food pieces, I think, in terms of Scottish foods.
Try something new.
It sounds weirder when you talk about the constituent parts, but just like anything else, when it's all together, it tastes good.
I kept it down, and I, for one, am proud of it.
looks like an alien egg pod. It is so weird looking, and that's what terrified me the most coming in here, is seeing that big blob.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. Want to know how you guys think about haggis. Remember, boys and girls, we do this once a month. First Friday of every month. Thank you for tuning in.
Yep.
Be sure to check out the Kilts and Culture group over on Facebook. And this time, I have a question of the day.
Okay.
I want to know, do you hate buckle brogues as much as I hate buckle brogues? How do you feel about buckle brogues? Would you ever wear them? Have you worn them? Or should they be burned? Tell me what you think in the comments. Cool. Until next time.